Karen Horton with Film Courage, the radio show, and we just had a very wild, fun show with filmmaker Travis Legg and also our guest host, Vinny Wolf, and he's a comedian and also co-host of Bipolar Nation here on LA Talk Radio at 11 a.m. On Channel 1 on Sundays. But something that came up during the show that I guess maybe you weren't aware of is that you were really the catalyst for David and I to start Film Courage, and I guess you hadn't even been aware of that because you recommended to a friend of ours, Gregor Collins, a show called In the Can with Kip Brown, and we actually went on that show and then later became hosts on LA Talk Radio. So knowing that you had an impact in people's lives, how does that resonate with you?
It is. Oh, it's great to hear, because sometimes, when you're in this town, you get a lot of rejections or a lot of, actually sometimes your voice isn't heard. And always a comedian or an actor or performer always wants to have themselves be heard. And then you think to yourself, the more and more people walk by you in life, what am I here for? And then sometimes you have those little bouts of those, you need a little bit of a pat on the back and something. And this was a rough week, and I gotta tell you, to be honest with you, it was amazing to hear that I might have done something to spark your creative flow into LA Talk Radio. One of the most exciting sounds that most people don't hear, almost like a dog whistle type thing, is the sound of an idea. And the fact that when, let's say, you have a kid comes up to you and says, "What does yellow and blue make?" And you tell them green, and they're like, all of a sudden they're like, and they're out. There's a sound that you hear when something positive is going to be created. And we think in this world that everything's been seen that, done that. But and me, I don't think it's true. And the fact of the matter is that the fact that I might have helped somebody, I might have helped someone create something that they wanted to do in their process and make the world a better place. And you guys have paid it forward with a lot of people over the last 2 years. Am I correct?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, it made me feel like I'm not that I actually am helping people along the way, which is the goal. Other than, of course, projecting myself like a lot of other selfish comedians, so to speak.
Well, and I'm wondering too, because being in this town, there's that fine line. You want to promote yourself, but you don't want to be obnoxious about it.
Yeah.
And how do you walk that line? I mean, how do you remain friendly and keep putting your message out there without being like a used car salesman?
We train people how we want to be treated. But I will say this: I was watching The Apprentice one time when Donald Trump was talking about sales, and the beauty of that show is that you get a chance to learn a very valuable lesson. So it's almost like a television's version of Dale Carnegie, how to win friends and influence people. And you see some sabotagers, and you'll see some people working as a team. But he had said, he goes, there's a lot of people out there that are much more talented than Sinatra was or Brando was, all that kind of stuff, but they don't know how to sell themselves. And I've struggled with that, because there's that part who wants to just come out and say, "Hi, I'm Vinny Wolf," but one thing that I learned is that I learn where my role is somewhere. Like if someone says, "I want you to be on the show," I want to see what they need me to do on that show. I don't want it to become the Vinny Wolf show. That's going to come in time. Well, you want to find out where you're helpful. Where are you in that teamwork of that day? But when it comes to sales, I just merely put it out. I have an FTW T-shirt line. I do stand up, and I actually I have a website, and I tell people about it, and I Facebook and what have you. But the way I walk through a room and project myself, but mainly is to, I'm contrarian. I don't do things because I want people to like me. I just am who I am. But somewhere in between there, you have to have some sense of respect, decorum. When's the right time to say what's on, be that person? When's the right time to go in? When's the right time to let someone else shine? What was humbling to me is when I was doing background work for the studios, and I always would woke up like I was doing a Moneyball with Brad Pitt. I was sitting right next to Brad Pitt for 3 days. All the girls, woo, Brad Pitt. And I said, it's funny. 98% of all communication is nonverbal. So I'm the big winner here today, Brad. That was my way of saying, it's Brad Pitt's time to shine in this particular moment. I'm not here to steal from Brad Pitt. I'm here to accentuate the scene. But there is going to come a time where I'm on the other side, and then people are going to look and say, I have to follow through. Because if I'm in that scene, let's say I'm like, Brad Pitt when he does Moneyball, he is supposed, it's not just him doing it. His performance, his respect for the craft, all that kind of stuff creates jobs for other people. So he has to know his lines, he has to do this and do that. And I think that when it gets to that point, I have to be able to deliver and be ready. And I think once you hone your skills and you actually learn both sides, empathy from one another, one person to another, I think that's what helps. And sometimes from doing that kind of work to doing this where I am a guest. It's not the Vinny Wolf show. I put myself in a place like, where do you guys need me? There's going to come a time when my time will come.